Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Farida here, and today we're going to be discussing blockers. Because if you say cock blockers at the movie theater, when you're ordering a movie ticket, all the ticket attendants will smirk at you and tell you that that's not a movie, it's just called blockers. Yes, that happened to me, and it was super embarrassing because I was by myself. Can I have one ticket to cock blockers? We don't have cock blockers, it's just blockers. It's like, okay, I'm already by myself. Can you not embarrass me in front of the whole entire line? Just give me my damn ticket. You know exactly what I'm talking about. But anyway, this movie was really funny. Yeah, I was in the theater by myself. I go to the movies by myself, and I was cracking the heck up. So stay tuned for my review, because this one, it's been a lot of good ones lately. I feel like I'm saying stay tuned because this one's good, but this one's actually good. Alright, so this isn't going to be like a normal movie review for me, because watching this film is just so different than what I'm normally used to seeing. You know, we've seen older women in raunchy sex comedies, and of course we see other teenage girls on film and talking about sexuality and what sexuality means to females in high school and when you kind of come of age, but we've never seen anything really like this. So it's directed by Kay Cannon. This is actually her directorial debut, and it stars John Cena, Ike Barinholtz, and Leslie Mann. I love Leslie Mann. Anything Leslie Mann is in, she's like super funny. She brings it. She's hilarious. And, you know, this movie is so funny. It's funny because I feel like it really gets teenage girls right. It really gets women correctly. You know, women, we talk dirty. You know, we're not so clean. But the thing that really resonates with me with this film, the whole time I was thinking, I think I'm just really old. You know, because I remember being 16, 17, 18, especially going to prom. I'm not gonna lie, like my prom night, people did drugs and people got rowdy, they got too drunk. But I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that people were making sex pacts, and I don't know if that's just like not the way that I was raised, and that's not something that I really valued. But hearing these girls talk, it's like, what? Am I like this old now that this is normal? Is it normal for teenage girls to want to lose their virginity prom night? Was I just so square at that age that I didn't know that this was going on? And that was really the question that I was thinking to myself, like, wow, is high school really this way now that girls are this raunchy, this young? Like, I understand as a middle-aged woman, like now, of course, we speak that way with our friends, but I'm watching this and I'm like, what? Like, I wouldn't be trying to like give guys hand jobs and blow jobs and trying to have sex and having a guy go down on me when I was 17. It's like so crazy to me. And I know that girls have sex as teenagers, but like there's so much you're still learning about your body to talk about sex in such like a comical way, in a way that's like you don't know what you're doing. Like, I don't care if you have sex for the first time when you're 14, 24, 34, if you've never touched a penis before or you've never been with a vagina, like things are confusing, and to have these jokes about it, I mean, it was, you guys, this movie is super funny. I'm not trying to take away from that at all. I enjoyed every single second. I didn't find the movie offensive. I felt like it was just right. It's just that I just feel out of the loop. Like, I didn't know that teenage girls are like sending each other hand job emojis, you know? I didn't know that there's like this kind of pressure among girls to lose your virginity, because when I was in high school, it was more of a pressure from boyfriends and from guys, and that's the pressure that you felt. I never really felt like my girlfriends were like, oh my god, you haven't lost your virginity yet? Like, you know, let's all do this together. Or it wasn't really a huge goal of mine. Like, we didn't really talk about being horny. Like, of course we talked about guys and, you know, we talked about that kind of stuff. We talked about sexual things because, you know, girls are going through that at that age. But I think the most surprising thing to me that I really enjoyed about this film is, you know, there are girls out there that talk about this and who can laugh and who aren't virgins, and I think we just live in a different world now. And in my development, I was much like, I was not even thinking about that in high school. Like, that is not what page I was on. And to watch this film and to watch these girls, I was in shock, because I'm like, man, I don't, you guys can tell me, like, does this happen in high school 20 years ago, that girls were like having sex pacts? And I know that a lot of times girls wanted to have sex with their significant others. Like, if you've been with your boyfriend for a while, you kind of want to, like, you know, get after it. But I didn't know that girls were willing to kind of just sleep around. You know, we always had those one or two girls that were into that, but it seemed like these were pretty normal, average females who just want to go out there and drink and do drugs and have sex. Like, these type of comedies, these types of movies, and these type of young women portrayed in films has normally been towards the college age. And I don't know if you guys watch the show Riverdale, but oftentimes, you know, they're in high school as well. And I think, God, do teenage girls watch this and they think that this is what they're supposed to do? But this movie made me realize, because Riverdale has a lot of sex in it, has a lot of teen sex, and I always think, like, I would never want my daughter to watch this show. And that's the other part that I liked about this film, is it's kind of like, okay, so it's all right for guys to want to just lose their virginity, and parents have that acceptance because, of course, they're males, and for some reason we seem to see, in our culture, we see males being able to be more independent at an earlier age, like they're not a delicate flower. And that's even in my mind. Like, I would never want my girls to watch Riverdale, but I never thought about, oh, if I ever have a son, like, I wouldn't want him to watch that show or to watch this movie. And I appreciate that about this movie, is it discusses that, like, girls have needs too. And sometimes we do want to have sex, and sometimes we don't want to have sex, and it should be okay either way. And I liked that, and they were able to discuss that topic, but do it in, like, a really fun, funny way. And it was, guys, this movie is super, super funny. I don't think you should rush out there and go to the movie theaters to go see it, but man, it was probably one of the funniest movies that I've seen in a while. Super, super funny. And John Cena, sometimes he's a little miss for me. Leslie Mann is always on. But John Cena, I'm like, sometimes he tries too hard. But in this film, he was really funny. And I loved that his daughter was Indian. He was married to an Indian woman. And like, all the parents, they kind of had their own problems. And they, you know, they sort of realized, like, who... You know, as parents, who are we to judge? As adults, who are we to judge? Because we've all been teenagers before, and you know, like, what your hormones are like and everything that's going on in your body. You know, girls go through that too. It's not just men, you know? So, yeah, I mean, I really liked this film. I loved that it touched on a topic that in a very fun, raunchy way that I've never seen before. I never thought of before, and I appreciated it. I think out of 10, I'd probably give it, like, probably a 7, because I enjoyed myself and I enjoyed the topic. And it's very rare in movies now that you can watch a movie that it's something you've never seen before, and it makes you think about, like, real life issues and maybe the teenage women or teenage girls, shall I say, that we have in our life. And, you know, we as women, if we're going to do this whole Me Too movement, we want equal pay, equality, and all this stuff, we also need to start treating younger girls the same as younger boys and allow them to kind of just explore on their own and be their own people. And this movie is really, really cool because it shows that parents and teenage girls need to kind of come together in 2018 and can figure that out. Because our generation, you know, we have kids that are getting older and we'll be able to make that connection with them. So overall, I recommend this movie. You don't necessarily have to go and see it in the movie theater, but it's one of the funniest films I've seen in a while. I was like on my side, like laughing my butt off, and I would recommend it. So Cockblockers, I say go see it. And if you go see it as soon as possible, see it, because it's something that's different and it makes you think about female sexuality and teens that maybe you'd never really thought of before. So guys, thanks for tuning in, and please like or subscribe. Have you guys seen cock blockers yet, or is teenage sexuality kind of weird for you? Because it is kind of odd. But anyway, thanks for tuning in, and I will check you guys on my next review.